So here was the challenge presented to me. After 20 years as a Toastmaster and 17 years as a professional speaker, if you had to boil all of your public speaking tips down to 5 ideas, what would they be? Hi folks, and welcome to your daily episode of From Amateur to Expert, where we talk about your work, your wealth, and how you can position yourself as an expert. Let's talk about expert positioning and one of the most powerful things you can do, which is public speaking and presenting. Whether you are a full-time thought leader, presenting before crowds, before cameras, or whether you just have a big presentation coming up and you would like to do well, there are a few things that you can do to make that happen, and these, I believe, are the most powerful ones. So I've been a member of Toastmasters for some 20 years now, and that is not a Masonic membership pin, it's just a Toastmasters badge, and it shows my membership with them. I received some good news today. One of my articles is being published in this month's edition of the Global Toastmasters magazine, and in it I answer the challenge: if you had to boil down all the most important lessons in public speaking into just 5 tips, everything you've learnt over 2 decades, what would you share? So here's what I would recommend. 1. Create images that move. Anyone who's been around speakers for more than 20 seconds will have heard the advice: tell stories. After 2 decades, I can vouch for that excellent advice. The best speaking is simply this: make a point, tell a story, make another point, tell another story. Story illustrations help your point to come alive, and the best ones evoke images that move or scenes that progress in the audience's imagination. If they can see it in their mind's eye and follow the action, that's winning half the battle. You can spend years studying how to tell stories well in speeches, and you can become a master at the form. But the starting point is simply to be aware that stories are the heart and soul of good communication. Try to turn every point into a story. Number 2, be Gandalf, not Frodo. There's nothing wrong with speaking about yourself, but it shouldn't be all about you, as though the whole point were to show off. Instead, you should be guiding the audience toward a goal, showing them how to achieve the things they want. Be Gandalf, not Frodo. Be Obi-Wan, not Luke. Make your speeches all about how the audience can get to where they want to go. It's the difference between how I wrote a best-selling book versus how you can write a best-selling book. Same speech, same stories, different orientation. Number 3, insert pauses for drama. I prefer a natural tone of speech. In fact, there's nothing worse than when a speaker sounds like he or she is, dramatic voice, delivering a speech. Conversational is always best. But to truly elevate the level of mastery in your delivery, pause after important points. It gives you time to think, it gives the audience time to digest, and if you put your pause in just the right place, it can add goosebump levels of drama. Pauses heighten everything and make you look masterful. Number 4, move around for stories, stand still for points. When should you move? When should you stand still? I find an excellent rule of thumb is this: when you're getting caught up in telling a story, feel free to move around the speaking area and become animated. But when you get to the point of that story, chat directly with the audience. Stand still in one place and just connect with them. Number 5, smile and blink. Little things can give away your nervousness. For instance, when most inexperienced speakers stand in front of an audience, their eyes tend to go wide and then switch off in a sort of deer-in-the-headlights stare. I once heard some excellent advice to solve this. Imagine there's a light at the corners of each eye. Now switch that light on. Most real smiling actually happens around the eyes, not the mouth. Charm and warmth come from switching your eyes on, smiling, and allowing the eyes to crinkle every now and then. Sometimes the biggest difference between someone who looks amateur and a pro is just that the pro remembers to smile. Speaking is a wonderful craft, and you can spend a lifetime pursuing it, refining it, becoming better at it. I'd start with Toastmasters if I were you. There are also organizations for the professional side of things. So where Toastmasters is about the how-to of platform skills, there are organizations like the PSA and NSA that are about the business side of being a speaker. If that interests you, please do consider my downloadable audio program on how to become a professional speaker. It's all about the marketing, developing your product, the business stuff that goes into the back end. Next time you have a presentation in front of a live audience, try those 5 things and watch the difference it makes.